Hey y'all, Harold here, and today we're going to be doing a video where I install one of these 4-port gigabit NICs into my server here. And after we do that, we'll get it fired back up, and we're going to do some LACP configuration on the network card, so we can bond these 4 links plus the onboard NIC for a total of 5 gigabits of throughput. Now, the important thing to know about LACP is you do not get one big fat 5 gigabits per second trunk. You have one essential trunk header, and then from there it splits off into each individual lane. So we could theoretically do 5 gigs a second through one host name. And what we're doing is we're actually splitting, let's say, 5 different hosts, or one host that actually has 5 network cards installed on it with LACP. It'll end up through the LACP driver transferring data down different links on that machine to different links on this machine, separating the traffic so you can get what appears to be a total of 5 gigabits per second throughput. But really you're getting 5 individual 1 gigabit streams. So if you transfer one giant file, let's say you got, a Blu-ray DVD rip, that one Blu-ray DVD rip is not going to transfer 5 gigs a second, it's only going to transfer 1 gig a second still. So that's the sort of prelim on what LACP does and all that good stuff. So let's get to it. Alright, so here's the network card that we're going to be installing. It's from Syba. It has the RealTek chipset installed on it. A lot of people would go with Intel. Yeah, it's better, but it's also more expensive. I think I paid like $20 for this card or something close to that. I'll actually put a link in the description on where to find this card. And it'll suit my purposes for home networking and these lab builds. So let's go ahead and get installed here. You can see there's our PCI Express spot right there that I am pointing to right next to the CPU or GPU. And we're going to go ahead and plop her in, get these fan wires out of the way. Boom. Okay, installed. And we'll need a screw. So I got a screw over here on the bench for that. This one should do the trick. And here is a screwdriver. And voila, that's all there was to that. We're just going to go ahead and get the lid snap back on here and put back into the quote-unquote rack, which is just a shelf. So, yes. There is the server. Yay! Alright, so we're back now. It is time to get the LACP configured for Server 2012. And we'll go ahead and switch over to screen capture mode, and we'll do that from right here in the office. Alright, so now we're looking at our Server 2012 machine, and we need to pull up Server Manager to get started here. And it'll bring us into the dashboard. And, well, I've got some good errors going on here. I'll figure those out later. But for configuring our teaming, we're going to go over to local server. And we see all of our network interfaces here. And we're going to go say NIC teaming. See, it says disabled. We're going to go ahead and click on that. And it'll bring us into this window here. And it'll tell us which adapters are available to be teamed. You'll see this says 10 gigs a second. It is not. It's a virtual adapter that was created as part of Hyper-V back in Server 2008. This was actually a upgrade install of Windows Server, which pains me to say. I never would recommend anybody doing that. I just
I did it. There's nothing else to say about it. I did it. But before I go up to server 2016 on this box, I'll be backing up all my data and wiping it clean and starting from scratch and get rid of some of the old nasties that are hanging out. But I relabeled all the ports on the quad NIC coming in, so we know what they were, so 1 through 4. And so we'll just select all of those by holding down Shift and selecting 1, 2, 3, 4. And we'll say tasks, add to new team. And for team name, because I'm a nerd, we'll call it the A team. And we'll look at additional properties here. So under teaming mode, and for the purpose of this video, I'm going to leave it as switch independent. What'll end up happening at some point, it'll probably be once I upgrade this server 2016, I'll be configuring this as LACP, and I'll have to do some switch configuration also in order to get that enabled. But switch independent allows that to work just fine. And load balancing mode, since I'm running Hyper-V, I'm going to go ahead and select Hyper-V port. This allows for virtual machines to be static to one adapter, and will balance inbound and outbound traffic. The address hash on switch independent only balances outbound traffic. So anything coming inbound will only come on one NIC. So Hyper-V port, standby adapter. We're not going to use any of these. The standby adapter is a failover adapter, but we don't want that. We want them all to be working. So we'll go ahead and say OK, and it saves. And now it says it's there. So if I come down and to my network and sharing center, and I say change adapter settings, hey, there is my A team, and it is identifying right now. Well, it'll identify and eventually tell me it's got internet connection. So that is the gist of getting basic teaming set up in server 2012. And when we were looking at the load balancing modes, if you're at home and you don't have a managed switch, you just have one of the basic off-the-shelf switches where you have no configuration options, you won't be able to run LACP or static load balancing modes. So that's good to know for you guys, and with that I will wrap this video up, and you guys have a great night, and we'll see you next time.